When someone you love hurts you, a strange psychological reflex often kicks in. Instead of holding them accountable, you start searching for reasons to justify their behavior, building a defense for the very person who caused your pain. This friction, the attempt to reconcile deep affection with a clear, undeniable betrayal, creates a volatile emotional vacuum. Shakespeare captures this exact internal struggle in Sonnet 35, part of his famous Fair Youth sequence. This sonnet focuses on the flawed mechanics of rationalizing bad behavior. It is a study in how we minimize a person's faults to keep from losing them. It maps how easily we can talk ourselves out of holding our loved ones accountable, prioritizing the preservation of a relationship over our own sense of justice. The speaker begins by telling the youth, "No more be grieved at that which thou hast done." He immediately offers an excuse. Roses have thorns and silver fountains mud. He then expands the scope, noting that clouds and eclipses stain both moon and sun, and that even the sweetest bud can hide a destructive canker. These 4 lines form an extended metaphor. Shakespeare strings together disparate images of nature to build a single, unified argument. Imperfection is universal and inherent to beauty. By framing a human wrong as a natural blemish, the speaker equates a deliberate choice with a cloud passing in front of the sun, making the betrayal seem like an unavoidable fact of life. This comparison removes the element of intent. If the youth's mistake is as natural as a thorn on a rose, then the speaker has effectively stripped them of all moral accountability. But the poem pivots in the 5th line. The focus shifts from external nature to internal guilt, as the speaker admits, "All men make faults, and even I in this." He realizes he is authorizing thy trespass with compare. He describes himself as salving, or soothing, the youth's mistake, effectively applying a metaphorical balm to a wound that should be examined. In this moment, the speaker recognizes that his attempt to be forgiving is actually a form of moral corruption. He is lying to himself to protect someone else. The earlier metaphors of roses and silver fountains now appear as psychological shields, elaborate figures of speech used to mask the reality of the youth's behavior. The attempt to excuse the betrayer has backfired. The speaker is no longer just a victim, he has become a participant in validating his own mistreatment. In the 3rd quatrain, the vocabulary of nature is replaced by the rigid language of a courtroom. The speaker notes, "For to thy sensual fault I bring in sense." This illustrates an inversion of roles. The adverse party is the prosecutor, while the advocate is the defense. Shakespeare writes, "Thy adverse party is thy advocate." The victim becomes the defense attorney, stating he will, "'gainst myself a lawful plea commence." This paradox shows us that when the heart is involved, reason is often used to undermine the self. Logic becomes a weapon the victim uses to argue for their own continued suffering. The closing couplet summarizes the speaker's state as a civil war between love and hate. He is being torn apart by his conflicting instincts to condemn the crime and protect the criminal. He ends with the realization that he is an accessory. In a legal context, an accessory is someone who assists in a crime or helps a criminal avoid punishment. To end the internal civil war, the speaker chooses to side with the youth. By doing so, he becomes a partner in the original betrayal. By successfully arguing the case for the youth, the speaker sentences himself to the very pain he was trying to rationalize away. The poem tracks a complete psychological collapse, descending from beautiful excuses based in nature to a damning legal indictment of the self. Shakespeare uses extended metaphor, paradox, and legal imagery to show how love can dismantle a person's moral compass. Ultimately, Sonnet 35 offers no clean resolution. Instead, it leaves us with the realization that the most damaging betrayals are often the ones we commit against our own interests to preserve a relationship.